Hey, my name is Jordan Cranfield, and this is my self introduction speech. So, out of all the four questions that we had, I chose and resonated with two of those, and that was my experience in my life, as well as who encouraged me to be the person I am today. So, the experience and the person I had was my mom and her experience growing up. When she had my brother, he was 2 years old, and I was about five. She ended up getting diagnosed with a crippling disease, and unfortunately, she had to quit her job. She was actually a school teacher, and she had to stay at home, and she was disabled. And unfortunately, that's something that impacted our family as a whole. Her daily activities that she used to do, she couldn't do. She ended up having to get assistance to get dressed and to cook for the family and stuff like that, and my dad was working. And so, with that being said, I actually had helped and assisted her in those things. Like I would get her up and get her dressed and make sure her medicine was taken care of and make sure, my brother was taken care of and fed, and he went to school and we got our stuff together. And there's just a lot of things that, I did when I was younger that most people never probably had to encounter. And if they did it, they probably didn't realize that's what all I had to do. When I come home, I would have to do the housework. I would have to make sure she was taken care of again and make sure that the food was done and make sure my dad was taken care of and my brother. So I was doing things that my mom would have done as a mother that I ended up doing on my own for her. For a while when I was younger, I didn't really think nothing about it. It was just second nature. And then when I got older and I started getting to the pre-teenager, I noticed that that's something that I started having a grudge a little bit about and wishing that I didn't do those things because I wish I had a life and wish I had a kids, to enjoy different things and stuff. I remember one instance where we were in kindergarten and she wanted to make sure she was able to go to the zoo for us. And I get emotional sometimes, but please just overlook it. But she wanted to go to the zoo because she's like, this is stuff that I've wanted to do, thinking about having kids, is to go to their field trips. And so she did that. It took every bit of her strength to be able to do that. She had to make sure that someone was able to get her scooter out of the vehicle and put it back in the vehicle and make sure that she was able to physically be well that day to do that. And she told me a little later, probably in a couple years later after that, was said, Jordan, I just didn't want to embarrass you. I didn't want to embarrass you having a wheelchair. I didn't want to embarrass you with having to walk with a cane or to have a wheelchair or to have arm braces, and you be in elementary school and you have a mom that's in a body of a 60-year-old when she's only 30 something. But honestly, that was my life, and I didn't know anything different. And that's why I say when I was younger, I didn't know no different. And I didn't see her any different. And I was very grateful. We were raised in a Christian home. We knew that God was going to take care of her, and then we had faith. And over time, when I got older again, I was having that grudge, and I was like, why didn't I get to do these things? Why didn't I get to go and go to the parties and stuff? You know what, though? I look back, and it's not that she held me back. It's that I chose to hold myself back from doing things so I could take care of her. I was being selfless, even though I didn't know what that was at the time. But God was preparing me. God was preparing me to be the woman I am today, and in the work field that I decided to go into. That experience has molded me and made me into the woman I am, and I decided to go and become a nurse and to help others. I love doing that. My mom and I have talked about it, and I love her to death. We have a wonderful relationship now that I'm older and now that I understand and knew what I went through now. Then, what I went through then and what I know now, I'm just grateful. And, taking my college classes and making a decision for myself and going and pursuing something that God already called me to do. Like, I know that I'm meant to serve others and help others and just be the hands and feet of Jesus. That's all I know that I'm meant to do, because I love doing it. And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to do that for my mom. And I'm thankful to be able to give credit to God in all of this. So that's the experience that I had in my life. And this is the person that impacted me entirely. Anyways, so this is my self-introduction. Thank you.